Okay, Mangalacharan, all can, whoever knows can sing along with me. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Jala Shalakaya Chakshurum Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tatati Swapadankitam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuda Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna. Okay. Welcome again for this Friday evening class. All right, we were doing verse number 2 last week from Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll quickly do the revision and we'll do the purport. I think we have not done the purport, quite a long purport. We'll try to do a few of the important points in that purport. Let me again share the screen. Okay, those who want to chant with me can chant. Dharma projita kaita vatra paramo nirmat saranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu sivadam tapatra unmulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parishvara Sadhyo Hirya Avartute Atra Kirtivish Tushurubhistatsana. Maybe someone can read the translation. I can see someone iPhone, I don't know the name. Can you read, Mataji? The translation. Can you tell your name and read? Hare Krishna. All right. Maybe they themselves don't know that iPhone is there. Mataji. Anyone else?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yeah, yes, Mataji. What's your name, Mataji?
Me?
Yeah.
Ranjita.
No,
Ranjita.
not Ranjita, your name I know. I was looking at there's some people who have not put the name in the phone. We're not able to call. So I'm going to pinpoint them. I'm going to call them out.
It's probably good.
All right. Yeah, Ranjita Mataji, you can read.
Okay. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasdev in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam by the sculpture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, what is this verse talking about? Anyone?
About the 5 kinds of liberation.
5 kind of liberation. All right.
Glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Yes. This is about Srimad Bhagavatam, the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam.
So which I've written it somewhere from the last
Yeah.
thing class.
Yeah. So it is actually giving around 7 to 8 points in this verse. So first it talks about Dharma
Dharma
Projita
Pujita.
Kaitavo. So that means Projita means Jita means reject. Projita means completely rejecting.
Completely different.
Yeah, Kaitavo, something is related to cheating religion. So that is here Prabhupada gives the meaning as one is covered by fruitive intentions. So basically anything which is materially motivated in the religion, so such religion is totally rejected. So this is the first point of Bhagavatam talks. So this is going to give in the future what is the param, what is the highest truth, what is the it propounds the highest truth. So basically we have to understand that it is one who is not sense gratified, or one who is not selfishly motivated. So such people only can undertake this kind of religion. So that's the religion it's talking about, Paro Dharma. So that's the key point there. Nirmad Saranam Satam. Satam means devotees. So the devotees who are 100% pure in heart, that means they are non-envious people. So all non-envious, that means they are not selfishly motivated. So such people can only understand this. So that's the highest truth in reality. That's the reality. So, but people think, other things are welfare to others and all the other stuff are the highest benefit one person can give. So this distinguish from that kind of a illusion. So what happens if one follows this highest truth? It uproots all the threefold miseries. So what are the threefold miseries? Adi Atmika, Adi Devika, and Adi Bhautika. So miseries that is caused by, I don't know, someone is underlining, yeah. So miseries, the threefold miseries, it's actually uprooting all those miseries. It's rejecting, it's taking away all the miseries once who follow this Paro Dharma. So, and also the highest thing is this beautiful Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is actually compiled by Vyasadeva. Everyone knows that. But when did Vyasadeva compile this Bhagavatam? That's very important. When he is in the mature state. That means he has compiled all the Vedas, he has compiled the Puranas, everything, but still he was dissatisfied. So that is the time in which he compiled this. And this is sufficient. Once who start reading the Bhagavatam or hearing the Bhagavatam, this is sufficient for one's God realization. For anyone to realize. So then he himself asks, then what is the need for any other scripture? There is no need for any other scripture. Just reading the Bhagavatam, you get all the knowledge. So then how to read this Bhagavatam? So what happens when you read Bhagavatam, or what happens when you hear Bhagavatam? So it said Sadayo. Sadayo means you're immediately. That's what it says. Where is that? Yeah, at once. Sadaya, at once. So as soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, what happens is over a period of time, they cultivate shushrubis, they cultivate the knowledge. And what happens is the result is the Supreme Lord is established within the heart without any delay. So these are the key points in this verse. So one is Bhagavatam doesn't teach us any cheating religion. It gives the ultimate truth. That means that is leading to pure bhakti. So what is the qualification one has to have? One should be non-envious. Nirmat saranam satam. They should be non-envious. So that way all their heart becomes very pure. So Bhagavatam is all about Krishna and his devotees. Then the third point is, as I said, that devotion and envy are opposite. If one wants to be envious, they cannot get devotion. If one is devotee, no, there's no envy in his heart. So envious cannot appear, even if they may be all good, but sometimes they still be envious. But once you are a devotee, even the envious goes away. Then the Vasvatam means the factual substance. Here it says substance. Vastu means substance. So substance here refers to Bhagavatam here. No, Vastavam Atra Vastu. So if you see in this verse, there are three places this Atra is used. Atra 1, Atra 2 and Atra 3. Three places the Atra is used. Prabhupada gives the meaning of Atra as herein. Herein refers to herein this Bhagavatam. But each places where this Atra is there are specific meaning for it. So the first Atra means that all cheating religion are herein rejected. That's what it means here. This Atra. Whereas here the second Atra talks about all the objects in this existence, factually. So through this Bhagavatam, all factual things are realized. All factual things are revealed, whatever is existing. All which is illusion is not shown in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the last Atra is, one is, this last verse talks about one who is pure in the heart, it is revealed within him. That is, Krishna comes under his control of the devotees. So Lord becomes controlled by his devotees. That's what the last Atra means. So Kirtibis means the pious men. So that's the meaning Prabhupada mentions here. By pious men, or basically the devotees. So for those devotees, Lord becomes under their control. So this is this verse. So many points. So this verse talks about why Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the supreme literature. Can someone tell after discussion some 3 or 4 points, 1 point each, why Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be the supreme? 1 point each.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Because it's composed by Vedavyas after he has written all the Puranas and everything, as he was not satisfied, obviously.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, and he then obviously glorifies the God.
Okay, very good. That's
satisfied.
1 point. Yeah. What other point? Why Srimad Bhagavatam is considered supreme? All the points which you discussed, I removed the screen, but
Hare Krishna.
yes,
Hare Krishna
Anu
Prabhu.
Mataji, yes, Mataji.
Another point is when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, that then you understand the God. Then it is ultimate that you understand the God.
The reality.
The reality.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Vastavam atra vastu. Yes,
Yeah.
good point. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
I would prefer someone can put hands up so that I know who's speaking. Yeah, Ritu Mataji, are you speaking?
Yes, I can speak.
Sorry.
It was me, Lata Prabhuji.
Lata Mataji, yes, you are not on video. That's why I'm not. Yeah, Lata. Let Lata Mataji finish. I'll come to Ritu Mataji next.
I think
Yes.
it's because of the divine, beautiful scripture. I mean, stories of the God has been narrated in Bhagavatam.
Yeah, that is okay, but we have read some point in this. In this verse, did it tell anything about the stories in Bhagavatam? We are talking specifically to this verse.
Oh, glorifying Bhagavatam.
Hmm?
Like
Stories, what you said is correct, but it is indirectly there. I want the specific point mentioned there. What you said is correct, but it's not specific. Yeah. Ritu Mataji, and then I come to
Yeah.
Satvik. And
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
With reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, you become over the period of time. You have the supreme desires in your heart, and you get rid of all the threefold miseries.
Yes. Tapatra Unmulanam. So that says that ones who are following Srimad Bhagavatam, all the three kinds of miseries are uprooted. Yes, correct. Yes, Satvik. Satvik Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I just wanted to point it out. The Srimad Bhagavatam was glorified directly by the Lord, and we don't need anything else since this was like said by the Lord Himself.
No, can we be more specific? What you said is correct, but can we be more specific to the verse what we are reading? You can
It's
say
said
how
in
it
the
is said
verse,
by Lord. Can you explain that?
Lord Chaitanya said the words, and Lord Chaitanya is
Did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
form
did I
of
mention
Vishnu.
anywhere here? Did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified Bhagavatam? That is correct.
No, it's not mentioned in the verse specifically.
Yeah. What you said in the intro, I talked about how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified Bhagavatam. Yes, Ankit Prabhu. I'll come to you, Lata Mataji. Just wait on. Let me finish with Ankit.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. It propounds the highest truth. So that is why it is the most significant scripture.
Sorry, highest?
Truth.
Highest truth. Okay. Yes.
And it was the last scripture written by sage Vedvyas.
Yeah. That point already someone mentioned. So that point is covered. Then uprooting the miseries, 2 points covered. Now you are saying the first point, or probably it's the highest truth. But can you explain that highest truth little more?
So after reading the Bhagavatam, we are rejecting all the other activities which are materially
Correct. That's the first point.
so
Dharma projita kaitavo. Yes. So Bhagavatam reject all materially motivated religion. Okay, good. So how many points did we cover now? 3 points, 3 or 4 points. Yes. And also the highest scripture.
Reality from illusion.
Yeah, correct. Reality from illusion. Lata Mataji. Before I come to Prashad, Lata Mataji raised the hand.
I think Prabhuji, Ankit Prabhu told the same thing which I was.
Oh, same thing. Okay, he covered your point.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
All right, good. Prashant Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, for 2 points. One is it is confirmed by the unbroken parampara, which quoted by Sridhar Swami, Jiv Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, then Vallabhacharya, then also Mahaprabhu. So that's point number one. Point number two is Abhidnya, and it establishes God as Abhidnya and Swarat, which means.
No, you're in the verse number 1. We are talking about the verse number 2. So your point is correct, but it is related to Abhignya and Swarat. Abhignya is directly, indirectly conscious of everything, knowing everything, and Swarat is independent. That is talking about the absolute truth. Here, this verse number 2 is talking about the Supremacy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Verse number 2 talk the supremacy of the Lord.
So it will it elevates the reader who a reader beyond the beyond karma and beyond jnana. So it will elevate the reader beyond demigod verse demigod.
So you are trying to explain the what acharyas have been telling about the verse. That's good. So, but the basic definition we are trying to see here from this verse, we'll go into what Prabhupada is saying in the purport. So, if you see the first one, Dharma Projita Kaitava, we can take that as one point.
Completely rejecting.
Sorry, who was that?
Sorry, I was explaining the meaning when you read that.
Yeah, you want to
Completely
explain? Can you be a little
religious
louder? I
activities.
couldn't hear that. What
Oh,
does
sorry,
Dharma
completely
Projita Kaitava?
rejecting religious activities which are materially motivated.
Yes. So, in fact, as Prabhu was mentioning, acharyas say that which is what this kind of a religion, they call it as cheating religion. They are trying to cheat us by saying that, okay, you come to this religion, you get this benefit, you get that benefit, and other things. So, can you give an example for that? Cheating religion? Have you knowing any cheating religion?
Like thou shall not kill.
Mayavad?
Yes. What is Mayavad?
Considering living entity to be equal to God, trying to become God.
Oneness, okay. Yes, that is one of the cheating religion. I explained in the last class there are 4 things. I think Ranjita Mataji mentioned one of them in the starting about this verse. Just giving a hint. There are 2 points like
the 5 kinds of liberation.
5 kind of liberation. So
Merging with Lord's effulgence, that is Brahma Jyoti.
if someone says, by doing this, we are getting liberation, that's the ultimate, what I'm saying. No, everyone wants to go back to Godhead. That is, I agree for that. But even Srimad Bhagavatam, once you become a devotee, even liberation, no one is interested for that. And the other thing is, generally in Hindu culture, there are 4 things. They are called Purushatas. The last time someone said Purushottama. It's not Purushatas. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. These are called 4 Purushatas. So generally in the Vedas, this is what mostly is talked about. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Dharma means doing all those occupation, in the proper, as per the Vedic scriptures. If you do that, then you get all, and you do dharma. Based on dharma, you develop economically. That is Artha. Artha means your economical development is happening. So what your economic development happens, what you do with that, you will enjoy Kama. Kama means satisfying our desires, sense gratification. And ultimately, you're fed up with all this sense gratification. Ultimately, you want liberation from this material world. So that's what is said to be the 4 Purushatas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. But Srimad Bhagavatam rejects that also. It rejects also the liberation. So it rejects all these stuff. And not only that, it rejects the 3 kind of karma kandas which is mentioned in the Vedas. In the Vedas, basically, 3 kind of kandas. One is karma kanda, jnana kanda, and upasana kanda. This is what Vedas broadly cover. In fact, Vedas 60 to 70% covers the karma kanda. Karma kanda basically means ritualistic way of doing things, sacrifices to attain fruitive results. To get fruitive results, you do all ritualistic things. So this Bhagavatam rejects that. And the next is Jnana Kanda. Jnana is knowledge. So your knowledge is okay, but how you use that knowledge into. So ultimately people to put knowledge, as Mataji already said, Mayavadi, you ultimately try to become one with God. So that's also rejected. The third is Upasana Kanda, which talks about again worship and meditation. But worship and meditation to Krishna only is accepted. But any other worship and meditation of any other form is not accepted. That's rejected. So that's about this Dharma Projita Kaitava. Then it talks about the Paramo, the ultimate supreme truth, the Param Dharma. So what is that Param Dharma? It's not mentioned in this verse. It's coming. It's coming in the second chapter. 6th verse talks about that. Then it talks about how about the devotee, Nirmat Saranam Satam. So how a devotee has to be without any envy. So those people only will understand this Dharma, which is spoken by Srimad Bhagavatam. This Vedya means understandable. Then next point is Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam. Sivadam means all auspicious or all well-being happens because of Bhagavatam, and that is the reality. And this Vastu means substance. This substance here refers to Bhagavatam. So that is reality. And what it does once who follow that tapatra unmoolanam, all the threefold miseries are going away. And why this is important, the author, the best author who has written the Vedas, everything. So that's why it's considered to be a supreme, the best author. Not only that, who's Vyasadeva is none other than Lord only. Is the incarnation, Satya Avesha Avatar. He is a literary incarnation of the Lord. Though, once you have Bhagavatam, what is the need of any other scripture? And what happens is, ultimately, no, this is very important. As soon as one attentively and submissively, so that's the key point which I'm trying to make. So if you have your connection with the speaker, as being a listener, speaker, if we connect, if you are doing some other activities, generally people try to not put the video means they are also involved in some other activity. So that's why this is very important, that as soon as one attentively and submissive hears the message, then the knowledge grows. So with the knowledge, what happens within the heart, the Lord is established. Once Lord is established within the heart, the devotee takes control of the Lord. So that's the basic definition in this verse. Okay, let's quickly read the purport. So who wants to read?
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. First paragraph.
Hare Krishna. Religion includes four primary subjects, namely pious activities, economic development, satisfaction of senses, and finally liberation from material bondage. Irreligious life is barbarous condition. Indeed, human life begins when religion begins. Eating, sleeping, faring, and mating are the four principles of animal life. These are common both to animals and to human beings. But religion is extra function of human beings. Without religion, human life is no better than animal life. Therefore, in human societies, there is some form of religion which aims at self-realization and which makes reference to man's eternal relationship with God.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is what the first sentence itself Prabhupada writes about this four Purusharthas. So pious activities, that is dharma, economic development, artha, satisfaction of senses, kama, and finally liberation from material bondage is moksha. So religion includes these four too. Irreligious life is barbarous. So I think our previous Bhagavad Gita team, can you mention what is the coin for these words? We had a coin to this. Eating, sleeping, mating, and fearing.
Defending.
The four principles of animal life. So this is the first teaching in a Bhakti Vriksha. This is what is taught. So what is the common between human and animal? These four things. Eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. So how are we different from animals?
We inquire, why are we here?
Exactly, we inquire. We inquire. So Vedanta Sutra's first verse also talks about the jignasu. Atato Brahma Jignasa. So, but religion is the extra function of human. Without religion, human life is nothing better. So we start inquiring. Therefore, the human society in form of religion aims for self-realization, which makes, okay. All right. Next paragraph, someone else? Saubhagya Prabhu. You're unmuted, so I thought I will take it.
Okay, bro. In the lower stages of human civilization, there is always competition to lord it over the material nature, or in other words, there is a continuous rivalry to satisfy the senses. Driven by such consciousness, man turns to religion. He thus performs pious activities or religious functions in order to gain something material. But if such material gains are obtainable in other ways, then so-called religion is neglected. This is the situation in modern civilization. Man is thriving economically, so at present he is not very interested in religion. Churches, mosques, and temples are now particularly vacant. Men are more interested in factories, shops, and cinemas than in religious places which were erected by their forefathers. This practically proves that religion is performed for some economic gains. Economic gains are needed for sense gratification. Often, when one is baffled in the pursuit of sense gratification, he takes to salvation and tries to become one with Supreme Lord. Consequently, all these states are simply different types of sense gratification.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yeah, it talks about even Mayavati, right? One with Supreme Lord. Okay, what is this passage talking with reference to our verse? The phrase is what we described. Anyone? We had so many phrases in this. So which phrase is this passage referring to?
The material motivation, Prabhu, initial, first one.
What is that? Dharma projita kaitavo.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Karma kanda.
Yeah. So no. From this verse, this Prabhupada talks about this particular phrase. Dharma projita kaitavo. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, let's go to, I'm just skipping some of the thing. Yeah. There are all right. Anyone wants to read the next paragraph?
I
Param
can,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
In the Vedas, the above-mentioned 4 activities are prescribed in the sense gratification, but Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental to all these sense gratification activities. It is purely transcendental literature which can be understood only by the pure devotees of the Lord, who are transcendental to competitive sense gratification. In the material world, there is keen competition between animal and animal, man and man, community and community, nation and nation. But the devotees of the Lord raise above such competitions. They do not compete with the materialistic because they are on the path back to Godhead, where life is eternal and blissful. Such transcendentalists are non-envious and pure in heart. In the material world, everyone is envious of everyone else, and therefore there is competition. But the transcendental devotees of the Lord are not only free from material envy, but are well wishers to everyone, and they try to establish a computationalist society with God in the center. The contemporary socialist conception of computationalist society is artificial because in the socialist state there is competition for the post of dictator. From the point of view of Vedas or from the point of view of common human activities, sense gratification is the basis of material life. There are 3 paths mentioned in the Vedas. One involves putative activities to gain promotion to better planets. Another involves worshipping different demigods for promotion to the planets of demigods. And another involves realizing the absolute truth and his impersonal features and becoming one with him.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So you see the last point mentioned here is about the three parts in the Vedas, which I already explained, Jnana Kanda, Karma Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. All right, all good. So let's see this. Okay, next paragraph. Anyone else? I think Param Prabhu wanted to go read.
Yes, I can read.
Yes.
The impersonal aspect of the absolute truth is not the highest. Above the impersonal feature is the Paramatma feature, and above this is the personal feature of the absolute truth, or Bhagavan. Srimad Bhagavatam gives information about the absolute truth in its personal feature. It is higher than impersonalist literatures and higher than the Jnana Kanda division of the Vedas. It is even higher than the Karma Kanda division and even higher than the Upasana Kanda division because it recommends the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. In the Karma Kanda, there is competition to reach heavenly planets for better sense gratification, and there is similar competition in the Jnana Kanda and the Upasana Kanda. The Srimad Bhagavatam is superior to all of these because it aims at the supreme truth, which is the substance or the root of all categories. From Srimad Bhagavatam, one can come to know the substance as well as the categories. The substance is the absolute truth, the Supreme Lord, and all emanations are relative forms of energy. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I've just finished the other passage also, next passage.
Nothing is apart from the substance, but at the same time, the energies are different from the substance. This conception is not contradictory. Srimad Bhagavatam explicitly promulgates this simultaneously one and different philosophy of the Vedanta Sutra, which begins with Janmadhyasya Sutra.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this passage, these two passages, which phrase it refers to? Any idea? Any guesses? There's a key word there. A lot of that word keeps repeating in this passage.
Vedyam.
Try.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone said Vedyam.
Yeah. Vastavam.
Vastavam atra vastu. Vastu means substance. It's talking about all the substances related to it. Yeah. All right. Who wants to read the next one?
Sorry, Krishna, Krishna. Can I ask, the substance is the absolute truth? Is this paragraph is talking about absolute truth? So, can you please explain it a little bit? The substance is the absolute truth. I mean, so I
No,
didn't
the
get
substance here is talking about Bhagavatam.
substance. Yeah, because it starts with the first line. The
The impersonal aspect of absolute truth is not the highest. No,
the
Bhagavatam talks about the absolute truth. Bhagavatam talks about Lord and his devotees.
And okay.
So here they are talking about there are three ways in which one can understand the absolute truth. So everyone knows that, I think. Mataji, do you know there are three ways in which the absolute truth is being described?
Sun, God.
That's the analogy. So what are the three levels of absolute truth? Let's get into that. Ranjita Mataji, you want to give it a try?
Yeah, I was thinking whether it is Paramatma realization, Bhagwan realization.
Correct. The impersonal feature is what?
Yeah.
What is the impersonal feature?
I forgot the word.
Brahman.
Brahman.
Brahman is the impersonal feature of the Lord.
Brahman.
So everything is Brahman.
Yeah, Brahman.
Brahman is the impersonal feature. Then Paramatma is the next localized feature. So he is situated in everyone's heart. So he is a localized aspect. And
Mhm.
Bhagavan is the personal feature of the Lord. So these are the three levels. So that's what that passage is talking about. So that is explained in Bhagavatam. So here it's talking about the impersonal aspect is not the highest. Above the impersonal aspect is the Paramatma feature, and above that is the personal feature of Bhagavan. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives the information about the absolute truth. Okay, Mataji, are we clear?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, yeah, I
Yes.
got it now.
So Bhagavatam talks about Krishna and his devotees. So that's what the Bhagavatam is superior to all because it aims at the supreme truth. It's going to give. All right. Yes, Vikas Prabhu, you want to read this knowledge, that passage?
Yes, Prabhu. This knowledge that the Hare Krishna, this knowledge that the energy of the Lord is simultaneously one with different from the Lord is an answer to the mental speculator attempts to establish the energy as the absolute. When this knowledge is factually understood, one sees the conception of monism and dualism to be imperfect. The development of this transcendental consciousness grounded in the conception of simultaneously one and different leads one immediately to the stage of freedom from the threefold miseries. The threefold miseries are those miseries which arise from the mind and body, those miseries inflicted by other living beings, and those arising from natural catastrophes over which one has no control. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the surrender of the devotees unto the absolute person. The devotee is fully aware that he is one with the absolute, and at the same time in the eternal position of the servant to the absolute. In the material conception, one falsely thinks himself the lord of all he surveys, and therefore he is always troubled by the threefold miseries of life. But as soon as one comes to know his real position as a transcendental servant, he at once becomes free from all miseries. As long as the living entity is trying to master material nature, there is no possibility of his becoming servant of the Supreme. Supreme. Service to the Lord is rendered in pure consciousness of one's spiritual identity. By service, one is immediately freed from material encumbrances. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Prabhu or anyone, can you tell what this passage refers to? Which particular phrase?
Tapatrayonmulanam.
Exactly. Who was that?
Ranjita.
Yeah. Tapatra Unmulanam. Talking about how it approves three kind of miseries.
Miseries.
So what are the three folds of miseries? Miseries this rises from the mind and body, the miseries this inflicted by others, and the miseries rising from the natural catastrophe, which no one has control. All right. Over and above. Okay, let's read this other passage. Who wants to read? I keep telling, when we are, see what I want to tell, we are doing a 2 hours class in a week. So what percentage of our time are we doing? 1 week, how many hours? Something around 168 hours. 2 by 168 is 1% of our time. So we want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. We want to, that's the purpose in which we are all coming here, right? But then if we are not concentrating and concentrating parallelly, you're doing dual process or maybe multi-processing, that's not going to work. So I want everyone's attention to be here. I know some people said they are working and while working they are hearing this, that's fine. But others who have time, please come on to the video and then participate in this. Then only you learn, then only we hear, then only we study. All right, I keep telling this. All right, who wants to read the next passage?
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Can I try? Neha Mataji, please.
Yeah. 1 second, let me share the screen.
Pranab Prabhu, you can try.
Thank you,
No,
Anuradha.
Neha Mataji started. Just hold on, Pranab Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Is it starting with over and above this? Yeah?
Yes.
That's the paragraph?
Yes, that's the paragraph.
Over and above this, Srimad Bhagavatam is a personal commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Sri Vyasadeva. It was written in the maturity of his spiritual life through the mercy of Narad. Sri Vyasadeva is the authorized incarnation of Narayan, the personality of Godhead. Therefore, there is no question as to his authority. He is the author of all other Vedic literatures. Yet he recommends the study of Srimad Bhagavatam above all others. In other Puranas, there are different methods set forth by which one can worship the demigods. But in the Bhagavatam, only the Supreme Lord is mentioned. The Supreme Lord is the total body, and the demigods are the different parts of that body. Consequently, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, one does not need to worship the demigods. The Supreme Lord becomes fixed in the heart of the devotee immediately. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended the Srimad Bhagavatam as the spotless Purana and distinguishes it from all other Puranas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Which passage does it, which phrase does it mean here? Mataji can answer. Others can hold on. Others who know the answer, please put up your hand. Which phrase does this passage refer to?
Srimad Bhagavate.
Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Mahamuni Krite.
Yes, that's the one. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
All right, let's go to the next passage. Okay, who wants to read the next passage? Pranav Prabhu, you want to try, right?
Yes,
Read the last two passages.
Hare Krishna. The proper method for servicing this transcendental message is to hear it submissively. A challenging attitude cannot help one realize this transcendental message. One particular word is used herein from proper guidance. This word is surus, surusu. Surus. One must be anxious to hear this transcendental message. The desire to sincerely hear is the first qualification. Less fortunate persons are not at all interested in hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam. The process is simple, but the application is difficult. Unfortunate people find enough time to hear idle social and political conversations, but when invited to attend a meeting of devotees to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, they suddenly become reluctant. Sometimes professional readers of the Bhagavatam immediately plunge into the confidential topics of pastimes of Supreme Lord, which they seemingly interpret as sex literature. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be hearing from the beginning. Those who
heard from the beginning.
Sorry. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard from the beginning. Those who are fit to assimilate this work are mentioned in this sloka. One becomes qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam after many pious deeds. The intelligent person with the thoughtful discretion can be assured by the great sage Vyasadeva that he can realize the Supreme Personality directly by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam without undergoing the different stages of realization set forth in the Vedas. One can be lifted immediately to the position of the Paramahansa simply by agreeing to receive this message.
Agreeing to receive this message. Okay. Hare Krishna. Can someone summarize this passage, the last two passages which Pranav Prabhu read? Any volunteers? Yes.
Desire. Sorry.
Yeah, yes, Ankit Gupta, you can go ahead. Ranjita Mataji, thank you, but I would request someone else to do it this time. Yeah, Ankita Mat, Prabhu.
Yeah, sorry, Mataji. So there has to be a desire to read the Bhagavatam. So one should find enough time to read and hear the Bhagavatam, and it should be read from the beginning. It's not that people should just read in middle or some other topics, but it should be read from beginning.
Okay, thank you. Ranjita Mataji.
One should read Srimad Bhagavatam under the guidance of a proper disciplic succession.
Correct.
And one who listens very attentively to the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart.
Yes.
And he is conquered by the devotee.
Wonderful.
Lord is under the control of the devotee.
Yes. So what is the first qualification mentioned here?
Shubhish.
Yeah. Sincerely hear. That is the first qualification. Through a proper guidance. The word Shushurus means through proper guidance. And what should be the attitude?
Yeah.
What should be the attitude? Someone else?
Submissive.
Submissive and okay. Attentive. Attentive and submissively one has to listen. Not in a
authoritative.
Challenging.
Yeah.
Not in a challenging attitude. Many people try to come challenge the speaker, try to ask, some of the challenging way. That should not be which way it is said. Any Bhakti Shastri students can tell which verse in Bhagavad Gita can refer this verse.
Chapter 4.
Yes.
Verse number forgot.
Okay. Chapter 4 is correct. Param Prabhu was mentioning something. Yeah.
Tadvidi pranipatena prashnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina.
Wonderful. Can someone else explain that? Someone else also said that verse.
I said it, Prabhuji.
Ranjita Mataji, yes. Yeah, can you explain that? What does it mean?
Yeah, we should approach a spiritual master very submissively. We should render some service unto them. And we should ask spiritual questions from them. And we should accept the spiritual master in a very humble way.
Yeah.
We should
Submissive
surrender to
inquiry
them.
and serve to
Surrender
them. And then what you get from them?
You get mercy. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena seva updeshanti te jnanam Jnaninas Tattva Darshana. Yeah, because they are very this thing.
They are realized souls.
Yeah, they are realized souls.
So they will be able to get the knowledge what we need it.
Yeah, they'll give you the proper guidance because they have seen the truth. They have realized the truth.
Wonderful. Yeah. So that's the verse we can refer to here. Cross reference. Yeah. All right. Any questions? Anything on this verse? We finish this. We'll go to the next verse. So one small homework, can you please note down? So you have to write some 3 or 4 sentences, maximum 5 sentences on this verse. So why Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be supreme? On your own words. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Anyone has any other question? It appears everything are very clear. Okay, let's recite this verse. So, okay. I will first recite and then it's a call and response. Nigama kalpataror galitam palam.
Nigama kalpataror galitam palam.
Sukhamukad amurta drava samyutam.
Sukhamukad amurta drava samyutam.
Pibata Bhagavatam rasam alayam. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukha. Okay. Who has not spoken today? Those who have not put the videos, are you guys able to read something? Rakesh Prabhu or Swati Mataji. All right, Soumya Mataji, you want to read the meaning, synonyms? You are muted, I think. Probably your audio is an issue. All right, I will go to Anu Mataji. Is there? Vikas Prabhu?
So she's there.
Okay. Mataji, you want to read the synonyms?
Yes, Prabhu, I can.
Yeah, please.
Nigma, the Vedic literatures. Kalpa, Taro, the desired tree. Galitam, fully matured. Phalam, fruit. Sukha, Sri Sukhadev Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Mukhat, from the lips of Amrita, nectar. Drava, semi-solid and soft and therefore easily swallowable. Seniyuttam, perfect in all respects. Pibata, do relish it. Bhagavatam, the book dealing in the science of the eternal relation with the Lord. Rasam, juice, that which is relished. Alayam, until liberation or even in the liberated condition. Moham, always. Aho, oh. Rashikha, those who are full in the knowledge of mallows. Bhuvi, on the earth. Bhavuka, expert and thoughtful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, Prashant Prabhu, can you read the translation?
Haribol. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literature. It emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So this verse is talking about what? So the first verse talked about the absolute truth, the supremacy of absolute truth. Second verse talks about the supremacy of Srimad Bhagavatam. What does this verse talk about? We already did this in the introduction. I gave this. Yes, Ranjita Mataji.
About Sukhdev Goswami, the
About?
speaker. About Sukhdev Goswami.
Okay. In a generic terms?
About the speaker. Glories of Bhagavad Das.
Yeah. Glories of Bhagavatas. Correct. Devotees. So how they relish the Bhagavatam. So we talked about the beauty of Bhagavatam in the previous verse. Now he's talking about how people relish this Bhagavatam, how it is considered. So Nigama means literatures, Vedic literatures, all the Vedas, Kalpa Tarur, desire tree. You know the desire tree? So desire tree, someone has a desire and ask whatever fruits, to that tree, the tree will give. So if we go to a mango tree, we can get mango. If we go to a mandarin tree, we get only mandarin. But for the desire tree, whatever a person or a devotee desires, he gets it. So here it is told about. So the desired tree of Vedic literature, Nigama Kalpa Taror. Taror means tree. Kalpa means desire. Nigama means Vedic literature. So the tree which desire gives based on the Vedic literature. What does the tree give? The tree gives a phalam. Phalam means fruit. Everyone knows phalam is a fruit. Galitam phalam. So the fruit is described as Galitam phalam. What is Galitam? Galitam means ripened or fully matured. Such kind of fruit is given. So what does it give? Who is given that? Sukha, Srila Sukadev Goswami, who is originally speaking. So this particular fruit is touched by the lips of Sukadev Goswami. Muhut means from the lips of Sukadev Goswami. And what it turns into becomes, it's already sweet and nectar, and touched by the lips of Sukadev Goswami, it becomes Amrita Drava. It is becoming a semi-solid liquefied nectar, which is easily swallowable. And it is perfect in all respects, samyuktam. So pibita means relish. So this kind of a beautiful fruit, this Bhagavatam is said to be matured, ripened fruit, which is a semi-solid in nectarian fruit. Okay, and this, who does it? They drink. Pibata means basically drinking. They drink or relish that juice, that rasam of this. Who relishes this? Even a person who is liberated relishes this. Muhur, always, Rasika, those who are full of knowledge of mellows on this earth, Bhavuka, expert. So these are all Rasika Bhaktas. All Rasika Bhaktas, they relish this beautiful sweet. So this verse describes about the sweetness of Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, if something is very nice, maybe we would all have some, favorite restaurants. So if we want, we generally go there and we have a set of dishes which we like. Okay, this restaurant. So that's very favorite. So maybe some may like some song, they keep on hearing that song, or maybe a singer, they keep on hearing. So that is because they want to release that, So here is referring to the Srimad Bhagavatam as one which is being released by devotees all the time. So it's here, this Bhagavatam talks about relationship and experience. This Galitam, although it's referred to a matured fruit, that fruit, it becomes matured because of Lord and his devotees are in this Srimad Bhagavatam. It's mentioned. So what is the relationship and experience one is having with Krishna? So that is how it is matured and ripened. All right. And Sukha. So Sukha means also a parrot, right? Have you heard that Sukha, parrot? So if you see a parrot beak, if it touches any fruit and anything, that fruit is more, delicious,
Sweet.
more sweet, more tasty. So rasam, that's the juice, alayam. So that is the one which is giving a special taste. So that's what it becomes, amrita drava. Amrita drava basically means it's a liquefied nectar. So it's very easy for people to drink that because it's coming. So already this particular Bhagavatam is so sweet, but it is again touched from the lips of Sukadeva Goswami. So it's becoming much more tastier. And this is what they drink. So we don't, read or something, but this Bhagavatam is the one which we drink. Pibata Bhagavatam, and relish it. And Muhuraho, again and again. They released it. Even the liberated soul, Rasam Alayam. Alayam is a liberated soul. The juice is released by even a liberated person. So why does a liberated person want? He is already liberated. He has nothing to do, but still he releases this. If you see, when Sukadev Goswami gave this Bhagavatam, it is said, even Vyasadeva was sitting in the audience. Vyasadeva is the compiler of Bhagavatam, but he was also sitting as an audience and listening to what Sukadeva Goswami is reciting Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So that's the one which is Vyasadeva is a liberated soul already. Although even Narada Muni is said to be sitting there. So all great sages were sitting there. They were relishing this. All right, let's go to the purport. Who has not read? Maybe you can put up your hand and you can. I don't know those people who are not
May I
in.
read, Prabhuji?
Who's that?
Kajal.
Kajal. Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, well, starting from the purport,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, starting from the purport in the two previous slokas.
In the two previous shlokas, it has been definitely proved that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the sublime literature which surpasses all other Vedic scriptures due to its transcendental qualities. It is transcendental to all mundane activities and mundane knowledge. In this shloka, it is stated that Srimad Bhagavatam is not only a superior literature, but is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literatures. In other words, it is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. Considering all this, patient and submissive hearing is definitely essential. With great respect and attention, one should receive the message and lessons imparted by the Srimad Bhagavatam. Should I continue, Prabhuji? The Vedas are compared to the desire tree because they contain all things knowable by man. They deal with mundane necessities as well as spiritual realization. The Vedas contain regulative principles of knowledge covering social, political, religious, economic, military, medicinal, chemical, physical, and metaphysical subject matter, and all that may be necessary to keep the body and soul together. Above and beyond, all these are specific directions for spiritual realization. Regulative knowledge involves a gradual raising of living entity to spiritual platform. And the highest spiritual realization is knowledge that the personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all spiritual tastes or rasas. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah. So no, let's see what these two passages mentioned reference to the verse.
Nigam, it seems like a lot of factors from the verse have been mentioned in these two paragraphs, like Bhagavatam being the ripened fruit of the Vedic knowledge, the cream of Vedic knowledge.
Yeah. So it's more on about Bhagavatam, as you rightly said, Pibata Bhagavatam covers. Yeah. All right. Someone else? Maybe someone can put on this hands, those who want to read. So it'll be better for me to call them out.
Also, sorry.
So who wants to go ahead next? Next passage. Okay, if no one is there, I will read this. Every living entity, beginning from Brahma, the first-born living being within the material world, down to insignificant ant, desires to relish some sort of taste derived from sense perception. These sensual pleasures are technically called rasas. Such rasas are of different varieties. In the revealed scriptures, the following 12 varieties of rasas are enumerated. Raudra, anger; Adbhuta, wonder; Shringara, conjugal love; Hasya, comedy; Veera, chivalry; Daya, mercy; Dasya, servitorship; Sakya, fraternity; Bhayanaka, horror or fear; Bibhista, shock; Santa, neutrality; Vatsalya, parenthood. So it talks about the 12 kind of rasas. This include the primary and secondary rasa. All right, so this is referring to rasam alayam. So varieties of rasa, everyone wants to have relationship with the Lord. Basically, it's talking about relationship with the Lord. Yes, Anumataji, you can read the next passage.
Prabhuji, can I ask a quick question before we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
It's the paragraph that we read before about how Vedas have all the knowledge that we need in terms of medical and everything.
Social,
So,
political, religious, yeah.
yes. So, Prabhuji, it says that its main aim, like even the aim of the Vedas is to realize God. So, it also, and as you said earlier, like 70% of the Vedas is Karma Kanda. So,
Yeah.
is that like, birth after birth, we elevate to that and we make ourselves pure
Yeah,
and then eventually
it's
we
a
get
very
there?
slow process
Hmm.
going through that. So Prabhupada and Brahma Gaudiya Vaishya, our Sambardaya is giving the elevator process to go through using Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And to want to complete all the Vedas and Puranas, one lifetime is not enough.
Okay,
So it
Prabhuji,
takes
thank you.
many lifetime to cover all this knowledge.
But Prabhu, I have a counter question here then. If we have, if it takes so many lives to cover all this, but didn't we just read that once we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, it is the highest knowledge, and it is, then we um, understand the Lord, or understand the highest knowledge, or something like that. We read it in the first paragraph today.
Yeah, that's
First.
why I'm saying, reading in Vedas, it's Vedas doesn't directly talks about Krishna.
Yeah.
Veda, that's what it's mentioned. So many other, like you have medical, Ayurveda is there.
Yeah.
Social, political, artha, everything is there in Veda. So if you want to go through the process of Veda and ultimately try to understand Krishna, it takes a very long process.
Okay.
And it needs multiple lifetime for one to do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get, once you person, that's why if you are in Karma Kanda, you get into that sense gratification mode. Another thing, you want to go to the heavenly planets. So you go to the heavenly planets, that lifetime in the heavenly planets is compared to, to the earthly years, is considered to be plenty number of years in the heavenly planet. So you spend there, and ultimately you have to come back to this material world. So if you want to go back to Godhead, this is the place from which you can go to Godhead, back to the spiritual world. I
Yeah.
used to explain in our class also,
Yeah.
if you want to go to a building, so if you are going to a 10th floor building, or you are parking a car in the 7th underground platform, so you want to come to the street, you have to come to the ground level. So if you are in the 10th floor, you cannot directly go to the spiritual world. You have to go to the ground level to come out. Those who are in the parking at the 7th floor underground, you have to come again to the ground floor. So the earth is the place from which we can get the passage to the spiritual world. So that's why it is said even the demigods, they try to come to this material world, especially during Kali Yuga, because it's very easy process of just chanting the holy name and going back to Godhead.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right, so probably I went in some other direction, probably. So what I'm saying is Vedic knowledge, someone is interested in Veda, wants to recite the hymns, Vedas are so beautiful. They want to sing that Vedas and other thing. They are interested. It may be their interest or something. But if your life goal is ultimately achieve the Supreme Lord, to get the love of God, the Krishna Prema, basically we need the two basic literatures. One is Bhagavad Gita, other is Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why we are focusing on that. ISKCON focuses on basically these two literatures, along with the others like Ishopanishad, Nectar of Instruction, other things to support that.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Kajal Mataji, have I answered your question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Like it was the way you said the elevator process that really struck me.
Yes.
So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you. Yes, Param Prabhu, you have a question?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's from verse 2. Can I still ask it, or
Yes,
should I ask
please.
it?
We can still ask it. There's nothing late than ever.
In verse 2, it said that what is the need of any other scripture? So Srimad Bhagavatam is enough. And we looked at the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
But in Gita Mahatmya, when I think Adi Shankaracharya writes it, he says, Gita su Gita kartavya kimanya shastra vistare. So you don't need to read any other scripture apart from Bhagavad Gita. And there's also glories of Bhagavad Gita and also the glories of Bhagavatam. So why do they say that there is no need of any other scripture when it's good to read both of them?
Why do they say? Sorry, I didn't get your question.
So in Bhagavatam, it says that Bhagavatam is enough and there is no need to read any other scripture.
Any other scriptures, yeah.
And in Gita Mahatmyam, it says that
Gita is the supreme, yeah.
and there's no need to read any other scripture. But it's always good to first read Bhagavad Gita, then Bhagavatam, of course.
Yeah.
So why do they say that we don't need any other scripture if both are good?
So why do you think? What's the ultimate aim of life?
Krishna Prema.
Krishna Prema. So they say you get the Krishna Prema. Even Chaitanya Charitamrita, then we also go to the next level of understanding this. The higher level is Chaitanya Charitamrita is also there. So these are the three literatures that ISKCON deals with. And because these are getting Krishna Prema, the realization. Chaitanya Charitamrita is more of a realization. See, Bhagavad Gita is more philosophically there and personal instructions given by Lord Krishna himself, right? Instructions. Oh, as I rightly said, this one, where it ends with surrendering to the Lord. And Bhagavatam begins with where? It begins with the surrender only. So it's talking mostly on bhakti. Bhagavad Gita talks multiple paths in which you can go. You can go in karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga. All paths it's open to everyone. So they're trying to make Krishna is making inclusive of everyone. Even the atheist, anyone doesn't believe in God, anything, he wants to make inclusive of everyone. So he gives the different path. But that was not actually meant for Arjun. Arjun is already a devotee. Why he has to tell about karma yoga to him? Why he has to tell about dhyana yoga? He tells all those things to Arjuna. And in fact, Arjuna counters it saying in this dhyana yoga, I cannot do also. For me, even I can control anything. Even the wind can be controlled, but the mind cannot be controlled. That's what he says in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, right? So this Krishna wants to reclaim everyone. He wants all of us in this material world not to suffer here. Go back to Godhead and come back to the spiritual world. So he's giving a different way. So even if someone takes dhyana yoga, karma yoga, something, but there will be a time in which they come back to Krishna. So even if you see ISKCON, we are concentrating more on the bhakti yoga, even though other yoga systems are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, right? So that's why we talk about bhakti yoga there. So if bhakti yoga, if one has come into the bhakti path, what literature is very important? It is Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam talks about nothing else except bhakti. Krishna and his devotees.
But I was just confused because, of course, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita are very important. But why do both of them say there is no need for any other scripture when it's good to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam?
Yeah, because we want to get Krishna Prem. So how many of us got with doing Bhakti Shastri or something Krishna Prem by reading Bhagavad Gita? We may be in the path, but we are trying to be a devotee, right? We keep on trying to be a devotee. We are trying to get the love for Krishna. Yes, Vijay Gopi, I'll come. We are trying to be a devotee. So why are we? So we could have finished, by reading Bhagavad Gita. That is topmost, right? Krishna himself has spoken. We have read it. We have understood it. But every time we read Bhagavad Gita, new things we understand, right? The same verse, if you have read, maybe after 1 year, the same verse and purport you read, your understanding will be totally different. Your perception, you would have grown or advanced, right? It keeps on happening. But why we didn't stop that. Here we want more bhakti, we want to get Krishna Premam to achieve it. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is still more advanced, showing our contemporary devotees. Here in Bhagavatam, we are talking about 5,000 years old, 10,000 Hiranyakashipu and old stories. Whereas Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about 500 years ago what happened. Oh, that is giving more personal relationship. No, it's ultimately your relationship with the Lord and the devotees. That's where we get the love for the God. Yes, Vijay Gopi wants to add something. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not very sure. This is my understanding. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving options for different people, like those who are karmis, jnanis. He's giving for different kind of people. Whereas Bhagavatam is more of case study. For example, like I may not understand the philosophical side of Bhagavad Gita, but Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining everything through a case study. For example, Ajamil, like different people, this is what they did, and this is how they got the bhakti. So both are equally important. Bhagavad Gita is more philosophical, and we need little intellectual power to grasp the theme of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Whereas Srimad Bhagavatam, because it is explaining through a case study, it is easy to understand for like people like me. Like I can't really understand the philosophical side of it. But whereas if you give an example and explain about it, it is easy for me to understand. This is what my understanding. Both are equally important. That is what my understanding is. Is it correct or I'm not sure?
Yeah, no, Bhagavatam also has philosophical stuff, but people are more, easily you can tell through, storytelling. That's the concept. Storytelling, that's what it carries. The philosophy is carried through stories and injected.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Prabhu, can I add something else as well, which I am understanding?
Yes, please.
Like Bhagavad Gita is giving us ways of reaching to God, going back to Godhead. And in the end, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita keeps telling us, surrender unto me, surrender unto me, surrender unto me. And then now, if we decide the bhakti path and if we're trying to surrender to Krishna, Bhagavatam is giving us all the examples of people who have surrendered to Krishna and reached God, have gone back to Godhead, gone back to Him. So that's how it is progressing. So even if we read Bhagavad Gita or even if we read Bhagavatam, it is giving us the same thing. The both books are equally important, but because they are telling us ultimately we have to go back to Godhead, and who is the God? Krishna, and He is telling us, come through me. If you have decided to surrender onto me, these are the example of people who have surrendered to me and come back to me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. I think we are not doing a comparative study of what is Bhagavad Gita or what is Bhagavatam. General understanding of these things. We should not tell this is good, that is bad. We are not debating on that. Sorry. These are the three literatures that ISKCON we are dealing with.
Yeah,
The
sorry,
simple,
I didn't mean that. I just was understanding
Yes.
purposes. That's why we are reading Bhagavatam now. I think that's what I was trying to explain, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Lata Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I think what I'm not sure, but that's what how I understood. Param Prabhuji is saying that Shankaracharya in his book, I mean, whatever the book is, I don't know the name. He said that Bhagavad Gita is, he said that Bhagavad Gita is the only one scriptures and we don't need anything else. In that book, he stated, but in Bhagavatam, Sukdev Maharaj, Vyas Muni is saying that Bhagavatam is the only scripture we needed. We don't need anything.
Yeah, if I'll give a simple example. If a student is studying year 10, year 11,
That's what
we
I thought
say
too, but I
you
was not
go to a
sure.
college, take some degree and other thing, right? So you
I
want him to
understood that
study more.
way.
And then once he finished, then why are we doing postgraduate from BSc? Why someone does MBA or MSc? See, it's more focusing on a particular area. Yes, Bhagavad Gita. See, if you take that way, see, gopis of Vrindavan are considered to be the toppest devotees, right? Have they read Bhagavad Gita? Have they read Bhagavatam? Have they read Chaitanya Charitamrita? They got the love of God spontaneously. That is called Raganuga Bhakti. And we have no love of God. Why is that? Because we are so much conditioned in this material world. We spend 2 hours in a week. Why? Because, to pull you along for the entire the other 166 hours of the other week to get, see, this is the spiritual enrichment what we get, so that our other week goes on with this, so that we are not diverted in any other direction. That's the reason why we are reading all this Bhagavata and Bhagavad Gita. If we are already have that love of God, spontaneous love of God, why do we need all these things? We'll be serving the Lord without anything. That's why we say sadhana bhakti is important for us. That's why chanting, that is why we are doing, hearing, reading, association, all these things we are doing sadhana bhakti to attain the love of God. Okay, Mataji? Well, I can go on this, but
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
yeah, Jai Dharma.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think all the points are very nicely put, Prabhu.
Yes.
Just one thing on the Bhagavatam, I think it also deals with like how the pure devotee need to glorify the Lord. Like say, if you take the Kunti Rani prayers, or if you take Bhishma's prayers, so it goes beyond like how to get to the pure love of Godhead. How do they pray? They don't pray for any material benefits. If we take any of the prayers, whether Prahlad Maharaj's prayers or so, I think it emphasizes.
That's how Bhagavatam starts,
Yeah.
verse number 2. That's what I said. It starts with
Yes.
that. Yes. Yeah, very nice point. Yeah, a lot of prayers are there. Those interested in those prayers, reciting of slogas, instead of going through, the Veda hymns, many people are interested in this. I think this Sama Veda, or I think beautiful lyrics are there in that Veda. So many people like to recite them. But the same thing is available within Bhagavatam. You have Kunti Maharani's prayers, Bhishma Shruti. These are all coming actually in Canto 1. So these are beautiful prayers someone can take up. We can listen Gajendra prayers. These are all beautiful prayers. Yes, Prashant Prabhu. That will be the last for this day before we continue. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So a very small input. So basically, Srimad Bhagavad Gita will establish, like when we started this class, Bhagavad Gita class. So that time we are just a green field. We don't know anything about Krishna. It will clarify. It will establish who Krishna is, and Srimad Bhagavatam will reveal how to love Krishna. Yeah, and it is basically identity versus intimacy.
Okay, true, Prabhu. Thank you for pointing that. That's what I said. Prema Bhakti. That's what the ultimate goal of life. To get into the love of Krishna. So that if it comes automatically, that is best. You don't need all these things. But we being so much conditioned in this material life, and we are putting all the Maya is all the time acting on us. So we need that protection. So the first level of protection is given by Bhagavad Gita, by first taking up Krishna. So that protection we have, and then we go forward to understand Krishna further. Understanding Krishna is not that very easy. We've seen even Brahma didn't understand Krishna. Indra didn't understand Krishna. They are all demigods. Whatever, we are all insignificant people. What is our level to understand Krishna? We are very low, right? So understand Krishna, we can understand only through the eyes of devotees, how devotees see Krishna. So that darshan, that vision we need to get, we try to understand Krishna through this. That's why they're saying Bhagavatam, you drink this nectar, then you try to see Krishna. Right? All right. I don't know whether I answered, Param, your question. So any Puranas, if you take even any other Shiva Purana, if you take, there will be a Mahatmyam for that, and it will say that Shiva Puran is the supreme. right? So they are glorifying at different levels, but out of all the top Purana, we have to see from the angle of what you say, these modes of material nature, how it is written. I told you there are 18 Puranas, how they are classified.
Yes.
Yeah. Even Shakti, if you take Shakti, in this material world is ruled by Shakti. Durga Devi. Durga Devi is considered to be the material world, Maya. So she is, Durga means fourth. She is the one who's controlling this. We are all prisoners under her. Shakti Dham. So material world is said to be Shakti Dham. I know Shaumya Mataji will raise her hand. Yes, Mataji.
I was curious that day also, Prabhu. We mentioned like the Puranas and they are in the different modes. What is the source of that? From where we have taken that?
The source, all the acharyas. This is this is all written by Vyasadeva, in fact. So we can take it offline. On that, I can give you the source.
Sure.
All right. Okay, who has not read today? Those who are not having the videos on, can one of you read? Swati Mataji, Nikita Mataji, Lata Mataji, you want to read?
I read it before.
Oh, you read? Okay, Anu Mataji. In this sloka.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. In this sloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is relished even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the
literature of
literature of Srimad Bhagavatam, due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. Sorry, Prabhu, my is not.
Are you using a phone?
Yeah.
That's difficult. You should
Yeah.
have a book to read.
Prabhu, I can read if you want.
Because Prabhu will read, Prabhu.
By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one can attain the full pleasure of his heart's desire, but one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source. Srimad Bhagavatam is exactly received from the right source. It was brought by Narada Muni from the spiritual world and given to his disciple of Sri Vyasadeva. The latter in turn delivered the message to his son Srila Sukadeva Swami, and Srila Sukadeva Goswami delivered the message to Maharaja Parikshit just 7 days before the king's death. Sri Sukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul from his birth. He was liberated even in the womb of his mother, and he did not undergo any sort of spiritual training after his birth. At birth, no one is qualified neither in the mundane nor in the spiritual sense. But Sri Sukadeva Goswami, due to his being perfectly liberated soul, did not have to undergo an evolutionary process of spiritual realization. Yes, yet despite his being a completely liberated person situated in the transcendental position above the three material modes, he was attracted to this transcendental rasa of supreme personality of the Godhead, which is endowed by liberated souls who sings Vedic hymns. The Supreme Lord's pastimes are more attractive to liberated soul than to mundane people. He is of necessity, not impersonal, because it is only because to carry on the transcendental rasa with the person. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pradeep Prabhu, you want to continue? We continue with this passage. Leave skip. Okay.
Sure, Prabhu.
In Sanskrit, the parrot.
Okay. In Sanskrit, the parrot is also known as sukha. When a ripened fruit is cut by the red beaks of such birds, its sweet flavor is enhanced. The Vedic fruit, which is mature and ripe in knowledge, is spoken through the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who is compared to the parrot not for his ability to recite the Bhagavatam exactly as heard it from the learned father, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you continue from this, not the next passage, the ripened fruit in this passage? Please continue, Prabhu.
Okay. Just looking, Prabhu, where that ripened.
No, the subject matter, just one.
Sure, Prabhu. Okay. The subject matter is so presented through the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami that any sincere listener that hears submissively can at once relish transcendental tastes which are distinct from the perverted tastes of the material world. The ripened fruit is not dropped all of sudden from the highest planet of Krishna Loka. Rather, it has come down carefully through the chain of disciplic succession without change or disturbance. Foolish people who are not in the transcendental disciplic succession commit great blunders by trying to understand the highest transcendental rasa, known as rasa dance, without following the footsteps of Sukadeva Goswami, who present this fruit very carefully by stages of transcendental realization.
Okay, we'll stop here.
Yes.
Stop here.
Hare Krishna.
Just read the last sentence. Srimad Bhagavatam is so carefully presented.
Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam is so carefully presented that a sincere and serious person can at once enjoy the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge simply by drinking the nectarian juice through the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami or his bona fide representative. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah, a couple of things. We have few minutes now. Just want to tell few stories, small stories. Now we're talking about Sukha. Sukha is said to be a parrot. You know, it is once said, Lord Shiva was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to Mother Parvati. It is said somewhere in the Himalayas. He was reciting Bhagavatam and Mother Parvati was listening. So every time when he was telling stories after the stories, he could hear someone nodding, yes, And after some time, Shiva, after he said, did you understand everything? And Mother Parvati said, no, I slept actually. After hearing Bhagavatam, I was sleeping. Oh, did you sleep? But then I heard that someone was saying, who's that? Then they saw there was one parrot sitting there and the parrot was listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. And they said it's not supposed to listen to this. Birds are not to be listening to this, very confidential topic about Srimad Bhagavatam. How is that? And then Lord Shiva went to catch that bird and that bird started flying. And it said it flew, and then it entered into the hermit of Vyasadeva. And it went inside the mouth of Vyasadev's spouse, wife. It went into her mouth. And it is said she became, conceived and Sukadev Goswami, who this parrot became, he was inside the tummy for 16 years and he did not want to come out because he felt if I come out, this material world, Maya will be catching me. I will be under the influence of the modes of material nature. So I will not come out to this material world. And Vyasadeva said, no, Maya will not catch. And then he so much Even, it is said through Lord has come through his heart and said, you Maya will not attract you, I will give you the protection. So when he came out of this mother's womb, it is said he was 16 years old. He just walked off from this mother's womb. And then he went away to the forest, and Vyasadeva was so much eager to call his son back and then give him Srimad. Once he heard Bhagavatam from Vyasadeva, he came back, or else he was going to the forest. So this is the very brief about Sukadeva Goswami. In fact, it is more detail is coming about Sukadeva Goswami in this canto. Another thing is, how is Bhagavatam coming? So Bhagavatam, somewhere in this passage we read, it is coming actually from the spiritual world. Someone was mentioning today on that. So it has come from Lord Narayan to Lord Brahmaji, and from Brahmaji to Narada, and from Narada to Vyasadeva, and from Vyasadeva to Sukadev Goswami, and from Sukadev Goswami, Sukadev Goswami to Sutta Goswami. And that's the parampara it goes on. Understood. So that's from Narada to Brahma, Narayana to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, and Vyasa to Sukadev Goswami, and from Sukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, and Sutta Goswami heard it from there, and then he gives it to the sages. That's what we are reading now. That's the process. And it's coming through the discipline and, Madhavacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, through my Guru Maharaj and my senior devotees. So if hearing from them, we pass it on. So that's the parampara we should be reading. So I stop here. It's exactly 9 o'clock. I don't want to go beyond that. Just a reminder of those who are attending the Science for Self-Realization. We'll have a class tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So please join. And one more thing is, next week, 13th February, we may not have class because we have one seminar, one devotee coming from India, Chaupati. So there is a class in the temple. Probably those who want to watch also, they may be on YouTube live. So he's talking about surrender, I think. His Grace Damodar Prabhu. So he's doing a seminar on devotee care next weekend. So he's here. In fact, he is in my place. So I may not be able to hold the class next Friday because of that. So this Friday class, we'll have a week. But I've already given an assignment, probably one more assignment on this verse. So you have 2 weeks time to do this. All good? Any reflection? I'm not asking for any question, any reflection. Are we all clear? Are we in line?
Yes.
Okay then, Hare Krishna.